1. Two people having sex make all kinds of different noises, and I have listened to them all in my years of investigative eavesdropping. Giggles, laughs, cries, sighs, whispers, gasps, screams, moans, groans, and grunts. I waited until Wallace Foreman let out one last grunt to give him one last moment of pleasure before I destroyed his day. I removed my earpiece and set it on the hotel bed and turned off the receiver. I left room 302, walked the 6 feet to room 304, and pounded on the door. "Mr. Foreman?" Silence on the other side. I banged again. A few moments passed, and the door opened a crack. A man peeked through as I held up my old police badge. He had on trousers and an undershirt. The security chain went taut. "What is it?" "We need to talk, Wallace." "How do you know my name?" "I know everything. You are Wallace Foreman of Foreman Roberts Insurance, and your friend in there is Brittany Grimes. You are 63 years old, married to Elizabeth. She hired me to help you out of this situation. How about I come in?" "No. Who are you?" "Right now, I'm your best friend. Trust me." I watched his eyes give me the once-over. "I'm calling the police." "You can do that. But before you do, ask Brittany about Valerie Kinney and Marie Marshall." "What?" "Valerie Kinney and Marie Marshall. Ask her." He closed the door, and their muffled voices went back and forth. I put my ear to the door, but couldn't decipher anything. Less than a minute went by, and the door cracked again. "She doesn't know what you're talking about. We're calling hotel security." "In my hand are copies of 2 felony warrants she has outstanding. Los Angeles and Phoenix, wanted for fraud and extortion." The door closed, and the voices went back and forth again. This time the door opened, and he stepped into the hall. "Who are you again?" "Name's Della Rosa, private investigator." I held my identification in front of his face, and then handed him the warrants. "She is Valerie Kinney on one, Marie Marshall on the other. Elizabeth hired me 2 weeks ago to follow you and investigate your friend." His thin chest heaved hard with each breath. "Why should I believe you? Next, you're going to want money. This is a shakedown." "Mr. Foreman, the shakedown is tucked between the sheets in there. She's a grifter, a con. How much did you give her in the past 3 months?" His brow furrowed, and his eyes went to the floor. "Let's go in." "Elizabeth knows?" I nodded. "Your partner, too. Rick." "Oh, Jesus." "Why don't we go in the room so we can talk this through and come to a resolution?" His hand shook as he opened the door. I followed him inside. Brittany was in the bed with a sheet pulled up to her neck. "Wally, you let him in?" "Everyone found out." "What? Who is everyone?" "Elizabeth. Rick. Oh, my God. So what? They'll need to accept who we are and our relationship. It won't be that easy." He put a hand against the wall to steady himself. The color drained from his face. He shuffled a few steps to the bed and plopped down hard. His soft, doughy body was a rumpled lump on the corner of the bed. His faded white undershirt matched the gray of his hair, and his round belly bulged out on his lap. "File for divorce. End it, baby. That's what we want anyhow," she said. He sat staring at the floor. "Wally?" "Why don't you put your clothes on and I'll tell you how this is going to go," I said. "You're going to tell us?" Brittany asked. "Why don't you go to hell? Get out of our room. Wally, make him leave." He was silent and probably in shock. Wally? Over the past 2 weeks, I observed and photographed Wallace and Brittany, a.k.a. Valerie, a.k.a. Marie, checking into motels and hotels, going to lunch and dinners, and walking the streets of the city. He moved around with Brittany on his arm and his chest puffed out with the bravado of a 63-year-old man who was sleeping with a woman 25 years his junior. Now the realization of his embarrassing indiscretion crashed in on him. I focused on the felon on the bed. Get dressed.
How about you mind your own business and get out?
Ms. Grimes, or whoever you are, the sugar daddy well is dry from this point forward. You have 2 choices. Deal with me or I call the cops. I stepped back and leaned against the hotel room door. I couldn't chance her getting past me. Wally finally spoke up. Do as he says. Her face flushed. I don't believe this. She looked at me. Are you going to leave? Nope. Oh, I see. You want a peek, is that it? You want a free show? Okay, here you go. She threw off the sheet and hopped out of the bed. She thrust her arms in the air and twirled around. Take a picture, you pervert. Stop it, Brittany. Wally snapped at her. She had an extra 15 middle-aged pounds around her waist and hips, and her pancake breasts were past their perky prime. Fine. She scooped up her clothes, stormed into the bathroom, and slammed the door. He stood and pulled on his shirt. Not my finest moment, huh? Deep down, I knew it would not last. I knew she wanted money. I liked it. Made me feel like a man again. It happens, I said. We all lose our minds when a female shows a little attention. I thought... He sat back down on the bed. It doesn't matter what I thought. The bathroom door flung open and Brittany came out. Let's go. She grabbed her purse and faced me. Move out of our way. I pulled a check and a sheet of paper from my pocket. This is made out to you in the amount of $10,000. A little generous if you ask me, but it's from Elizabeth Foreman. I held up the 1-sheet contract and a pen. If you take the money, you agree to leave Port City and never return. You also agree to cease all contact with Wallace and his firm, forever. She contemplated the offer for all of 3 seconds, huffed, grabbed the contract and pen from my hand, scribbled a signature, crumpled the paper into a ball and threw it across the room. I gave her the check and she split. She never once looked at Wallace. I picked up the wad of paper and made an effort at smoothing it out. I took my transmitter, a bug, from behind the headboard where I placed it earlier in the day when the lovebirds went to lunch. You were listening? Sorry. Why? Photographs and recordings go a long way in a divorce settlement. How did you get in our room? Cash in the hand is still king, Mr. Foreman. Gather your things. I'm next door in 302. I went to my room and tucked the transmitter and receiver into my attaché. Wallace walked in after a minute and appeared to be half the man who I had watched parade around town with his mistress on his arm. You get off doing this? Listening, watching, destroying people's lives? I faced him and was 6 inches taller with a lot more muscle. I'll pretend you didn't say that. He sat down on the bed with his chin on his chest. Now what? You go back. Ask for forgiveness. Tell them you temporarily lost your mind. Easy for you to say. What about the pictures and recordings? They belong to your wife, but I think she wants this behind you. I've been at this work a long time and have seen many men in the same spot you're in now. You're not the first, won't be the last. You'll be fine." I opened the door, and he stood. He had tears in his eyes. What a fool I am. She didn't even say anything. I trusted her. I put my hand on his shoulder. Love can be cruel, Wallace. Love can be cruel. I called Jim Roswell, my attorney friend, the one who funnels me business, and told him the foreman job was done. How'd he take it? Humiliated. He'll get over it. Yep, we all do. Come by my office tomorrow at 1. I have another job for you. What? What you're good at? Cheating spouses? Jim, come on. Be here at 1. Trust me, nice price tag. He hung up. Cheating spouse cases are routine, boring, and never pleasant. I peek into people's lives when they are less than their best, and it is always two people doing something they should not, and that never leads to a happily ever after. But in the words of a wise old private eye somewhere, infidelity pays the bills.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.